Hi, this is Jim Musser again with Upstream Ministries, and welcome to Views from Downstream. We're talking this week about being equipped, being assertive to be equipped to disciple others, and particularly parents discipling their children. And if you think this is a little overwhelming, it can be, but it's so worth it. And I want to lay out kind of my vision of what I see if parents begin to disciple their children in a way that lines up with the scriptures, where you're talking about the Lord when you lie down, when you're walking along the road, you're reminding and showing your kids who our God is and why you love him and why they should love him and serve him for the rest of their lives. And my vision is this. Right now we have anywhere from 50 to 80% of young people after they graduate from high school who have been raised in Christian homes and in churches leaving the faith. Those statistics are a little broad, but anything near 50% is a sorry statistic. And it needs to be changed. And we can change it by really, truly discipling our children. But what I envision for your kids and then their kids and then their kids' kids is that they are discipled by mom and dad in a real way and an effective way. And then they leave home ready to disciple others, whether that is in the university setting or if it's in a work setting. But having the ability to articulate their faith, why they believe what they believe, and to really be excellent at loving other people and serving them so that they are truly ambassadors for Jesus. So they do that. And then they are making disciples along the way through their lives. And we would assume likely they will get married. And hopefully they will marry a person that is committed as well and has been discipled as well. And they get married and they begin having children and they have been trained up to make disciples. And thus, they will raise up another generation of discipled young people who will then go out and do the same thing, repeat it over and over and over. And literally, we could transform the world if we were to do that. But it begins with each mom and dad and each child being discipled in a way that will lead them to a lifelong relationship with Jesus. And it's not impossible to do. In fact, it's very doable if we get the discipleship right. And that's what I am about, trying to get that right, trying to get churches to understand that the way they're approaching things right now is not achieving that at all, not even close. And so we have to change it up to get to that vision. But imagine what universities would turn into in several generations, because these kids will go to the university and not only will they witness to their peers, they'll witness to the professors. And many of those peers probably will become professors or leaders in certain industries, but they will be disciples. Imagine that. We have made the mistake of thinking that we can change our country by political means. We cannot. Politics is not that powerful to change a culture, but Jesus is. And if we take Jesus to the culture and introduce him in a way that is true, and they understand God's great love for them, that can be transforming to any life. And if a life is transformed, then it's more and more likely that other lives will be transformed. And if other lives are transformed, soon then the families begin to be transformed, and then the churches begin to be transformed. And the culture then becomes transformed. Do you see my vision? I think it's doable. I think it's realistic. It won't happen in my lifetime, but it can begin in my lifetime, a real earnest effort. And so I just want to encourage you as parents, as individuals, be trained in discipleship and begin to disciple those around you, particularly in your own home. And I think God will honor that and do some amazing things, some that we could never even imagine doing, happening. And so I just, on that positive note, challenging note, I'm going to leave you to meditate upon that, think upon that over the weekend. And we'll see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend.